a case of self-defense.
And the situation could have been much, much worse.
Why police have decided against laying charges. Disruptive passengers.
There are many inconsiderate travelers, and this one takes the cake.
Why Calgary is the worst for bad behavior in the air. And mysteries of the Monarchs.
We have a pretty good idea of what is happening, how they navigate.
Capturing images along their incredible migratory route.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Ian White.
Good afternoon. A woman who killed a man in Edgemont last week will not be charged. Police are calling it a clear-cut case of self-defense. Alicia Fielberg joins us with more details. And Alicia, investigators say the survivor did everything right in what was a very traumatic event.
Investigators say the woman is recovering after fighting for her life. They say the man lured her to the home, saying he wanted to see a rental property, and then attacked her unprovoked. It happened around 4 o'clock last Friday along Edgemont Court Northwest. The woman's father came with her for the viewing, but was in a separate part of the home when the attack happened. Now, after the altercation, the woman escaped and alerted neighbors who called 911. The man was declared dead at the scene, and an autopsy has identified him as 48-year-old Shahbaz Ahmed. Investigators say that he was known to police. And the victim's in her 30s. She was injured and taken to hospital in stable condition. Police say the pair were not in a relationship and have deemed the killing a non-culpable homicide, meaning the woman didn't act with criminal intent or negligence.
It's my belief that had she not had the instincts that she did, and the spirit that she did, you're absolutely correct. We would be having a different sort of meeting right now, and the situation could have been much, much worse.
Now, in a statement, the woman's family says, in part, they are heartbroken and furious, adding their loved one did what she had to stay alive, saying, quote, "She is a survivor, she's a warrior, she's a hero, but none of us will ever be the same."
Quite a story. Thanks very much, Alicia. Pedestrian ended up in hospital with life-threatening injuries after being hit by a vehicle. Police say around 7:30 last night, a man in his 50s was hit while in a crosswalk. It happened at the intersection of Métis Trail and 104th Avenue in the northeast. The pedestrian was taken to Foothills Hospital. Police say the driver, a woman in her 30s, remained at the scene. Investigators are still trying to determine who had the right-of-way. Firefighters responding to a small explosion at an encampment in the southwest. It happened around 6:30 last night near Earl Grey Crescent. Firefighters found flames in a wooded area. Crews had to run hoses through the trees to put the fire out. Nobody was hurt. Stage 4 water restrictions remain in place a little longer as repairs on the Bears Paw feeder main continue. Water usage was 503 million litres on Monday, nearly 20 million above sustainable levels. Work continues to test the water running through the repaired water main. Road crews were installing temporary road barriers, and all lanes along 16th Avenue are expected to reopen before tomorrow morning's commute. Meantime, some councillors want to see major administration changes as they grasp the decades-long water infrastructure failures.
Obviously, 20 years of failures and information not getting to council, that's a failure. So today we're moving forward. I'm happy that we're moving forward to get things fixed, but I also do want to see some accountability. People want some accountability.
After water testing is completed, the pumps from the Bears Paw treatment plant will be turned on. There is a risk the higher water pressure could cause another break. A timeline for restoring water service will be released tomorrow. New federal data shows nearly 60% of all disruptive passenger reports in Canada last year involved WestJet flights, with Calgary accounting for the largest share of incidents nationwide. Mark Villani is live now from the Calgary International Airport. So, Mark, walk us through these numbers and how WestJet is responding to all of this.
Well, Ian, Canadian Airlines filed 114 reports of unruly passengers last year. 45 of these incidents involved flights arriving or departing from Calgary. Now, WestJet flights also accounted for nearly 60% of all of these incidents, prompting the carrier to tell us it takes a zero-tolerance policy when it comes to this type of disruptive behavior, and that it's regularly training its staff members to help de-escalate these types of situations that include a wide range of bad behaviors like refusing to sit during landing, vaping or smoking on board, instigating fights, even inappropriate touching or indecent exposure. Now, aviation experts say the impact goes beyond just delays. In some cases, flights have to be diverted or held at the gate, causing very costly disruptions. Transport Canada notes that airlines are required to have procedures to manage these incidents, and that the decision to remove a passenger is at the discretion of the flight crew. But some are advocating for mandatory implementation of even harsher consequences, like being placed on a no-fly list or major fines.
You take a 777 or a 330 airplane and you basically divert the airplane, dump fuel. That's a $100,000 job. That's a $100,000 cost. You send that you send that bill to the passenger, and that's your responsibility. You caused this. We took action to basically get you off the airplane. You misbehaved. You pay the bill. And here's the bill.
Now, 114 reports may sound high, but it's really minuscule when you compare it to the more than 80,000 backlogged complaints from passengers that the Canadian Transportation Agency is currently dealing with. Disruptive behavior also is down from previous years. Back in the COVID-19 pandemic, we saw more than 1,000 mask-related incident complaints occur then. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mark. The Prime Minister was in Prince Rupert today, meeting with coastal First Nations and addressing concerns over a potential northern BC pipeline. Mark Carney and First Nations leaders discussed strengthening marine conservation while building a strong, sustainable economy. The Prime Minister says Ottawa will fund a marine traffic risk assessment study. Canada's Natural Resources Minister was also at the meeting. Coastal First Nations were upset with Ottawa after officials failed to meet with them before an agreement was signed with Alberta last year. It would possibly open the door to an oil pipeline to BC's north coast, something they remain strongly opposed to.
Today's not a day for big announcements. Today is really about a dialogue. It's a dialogue of what's been happening in the region, the projects that have been led by the various First Nations here, the various opportunities that do exist.
Premier Danielle Smith's office says she told the PM last week to expedite the approval of a pipeline to the Pacific as well as to expand TMX. There's currently no private sector proponent for a new pipeline. Danielle joins us with a first look at the weather. Another warm day, but was it a record?
Good question. So it looks like we got up to 12.3 today in the city. And the record for this day is 12.3. Now, Environment and Climate Change Canada is going to have to go over the numbers tonight and confirm it for us. But we either broke the record today or we tied it. I'll keep you posted because tomorrow we're breaking a record. I'm pretty sure. 10 degrees is the temperature at the moment as things decline for the day. Winds are fairly calm considering. Your 24-hour forecast is brought to you by Fifth Avenue Volkswagen. Family-owned, community-driven. Discover more at Fifth Avenue Volkswagen. The winds will pick up tomorrow, so expect tomorrow to be a little windier than today and a little warmer than today. So 30-kilometer-per-hour gusts in the morning, picking up to 50 in the afternoon. So that will carry us from 9 degrees when off to work and school up to 15, which if we get anywhere near 15, it's record breaking for us. So more warmth to come, and then I'll tell you about the decline coming up a little later, Ian.
Thank you, Danielle. Waiting 3 or 4 years for anything is a long time. Just ahead, the local family with a lengthy wait for services for a child with disabilities and why other families are waiting too. And a lot of Albertans had the flu over the holidays, why the situation is starting to improve. Also, if you have a news tip, text us at 10400. A Calgary father is bringing awareness to the long wait for access to provincial support for children with disabilities. Carl Visser's 4.5-year-old daughter, Olivia, has Rett syndrome. It's a rare genetic neurological disorder that causes a loss in verbal and physical skills. They've been waiting since 2023 for full access to services from the provincially run Family Support for Children with Disabilities program. The government stopped providing data on wait times in 2021, but Inclusion Alberta's latest report estimates thousands of families are waiting 3 to 4 years to access the full range of services. Funding for the program has increased, but not proportionally to inflation or population growth.
Some of the things that I would like to see is, the speech therapy or the physical therapy. Honestly, the reason why I do this is so that I can hear my daughter say, "I love you," at least once in my lifetime.
The minister, Jason Mixon, did not respond to our request for an interview, but in a statement, his office said they've increased funding to the program and that demand for the program remains high because of population growth and an increasing prevalence of disabilities. This weather is so remarkable. I think if we had weather this warm in March, we'd be okay with it.
Yeah, we would be okay with it. But in March, we might be way colder than what we've been so far in January.
That's right.
Right? We're always all over the place. And speaking of all over the place, record-breaking all over the place, Today, it looks like we tied a record. We'll have to confirm that for you tomorrow once Environment Canada has gone over the numbers. And tomorrow, we're set to break a record for warmth in Calgary and in many other communities. So the winds today, we had gusts just over 70 kilometers per hour in Pincher Creek and just over 40 in Calgary. In those 50s for Lethbridge and Medicine Hat. We're looking at the winds picking up tomorrow. So it won't be as bad as yesterday. And it won't be as extreme as yesterday, but we are looking at 80 kilometer per hour gusts, potentially up to 90 in Pincher Creek. We'll pick up to 60 in Lethbridge, 50 in Calgary, and then Brooks, Drumheller, Medicine Hat, Banff, 40 kilometer per hour gusts are likely. So with this little increase in wind, we have the increase in temperature that will come with it. At this point, we're sitting at 10 degrees in the city, 11 degrees in Lethbridge, 10 in Brooks, and close to the double digits in Pincher Creek at 9 degrees. Medicine Hat is at 7. When we talk about weather, there's no moisture in the forecast for the rest of this week and for parts of next week as well. So it's a dry stretch here. The story for us is just the windy, warm weather. We will have cloudy periods at times. We're mainly cloudy out there right now. This will mainly clear out for tonight, and then we're looking at a lot of sunshine for tomorrow with the occasional cloudy period. So I'm just going to play this through. You can see not a whole lot to go on, just a couple cloudy periods here and there, a good chunk of sunshine. It will be windy. It will be warm, and that record-breaking warmth is set to kick in for tomorrow. So 15 degrees, even if we get past basically 12 degrees tomorrow, we're breaking a record. Then this says winds out of the west at 20 kilometers per hour, but again, as we talked, we're looking at, that's a little mistake there, we're looking at 50 kilometer per hour gusts for tomorrow and likely 40 for Thursday. But as you can see, temperatures will start declining. We'll still be above normal. Normal is -3 for this time of year, so we'll still be above that for the rest of this week. And we will even get back into the double digits to kick off the weekend on Saturday. To show you that 10-day trend here, because this is something. Tomorrow will be the warmest out of the next 10. We will remain above freezing and above normal right until about Wednesday of next week. Wednesday, we're looking at a daytime high of 1 or 0. After that, though, that's when we get into a significant cooling trend, which you will certainly notice given all the warmth we've had for such a long time. But by Friday of next week, we'll be down to -10 for a daytime high.
Good news for Alberta's packed hospitals. The province's top doctor says the surge in influenza cases has peaked. Dr. Vivian Suttarp, Alberta's Chief Medical Officer of Health, says illness rates are now coming down. From here, she doesn't expect hospitalizations to exceed the levels seen at the end of 2025. But our health centres are still struggling, and so the province is dedicating 336 beds specifically for respiratory virus season and opening designated surge spaces.
At the same time, we're seeing increases in circulation of influenza B. Influenza B often emerges later in the season And while these waves tend to be smaller and associated with milder outcomes in immunized Albertans, they can still cause significant illness.
Those on the front lines tell CTV News they're still worried about Alberta's hours-long wait times and capacity issues. We'll hear more from them coming up at 6. There's a nationwide recall for no-name brand beef burgers because of potential E. coli contamination. The recall affects 1.36 kilogram packs of no-name beef burgers with best before dates of May 5th, 2026. There haven't been any reported illnesses associated with the recall. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency says if you have one of these products, either throw it out or return it to the store. It's one of nature's greatest mysteries, why monarch butterflies know where they're migrating. Still to come, the world's foremost photographer of monarchs gives us his understanding of their incredible migratory route. Partnership between Apple and Google. Joining me is Leanna Wachniak, investment advisor with the Popwich Carmali Advisory Group. And Leanna, Apple plans to use Google's AI services.
That's right. This was a partnership that was inked between Apple and Google to use Google's Gemini AI platform across the Apple Intelligence Network. Now, that's supposed to be rolling out later this year and in new versions of things like Apple's Siri Assistant services. That is quite an interesting partnership because this basically gives Google access to an additional 2 billion Apple devices out there that have support for these services and basically expands their reach off of Google-only platforms like their phones and computers that go along with it. So quite an interesting one to watch there. Really good news for Google. They hit a $4 trillion valuation based on this news, and we're up again today over 1%.
And JP Morgan Chase, the biggest bank in the U.S., reveals its quarterly earnings.
That's right. And they are the first of the big banks in the U.S. to report. So definitely a lot of investor eyes watching this one today. Quite an interesting report for them as well, because they did see some strength, revenue growth, earnings growth, a little bit of a back down from what analysts were looking for on the investment banking side. But they did take a one-time write-down related to, again, another Apple product. They're actually taking over the Apple credit card portfolio from Goldman Sachs. So they had to put aside a little bit of extra currency there, extra reserve in order to account for any potential credit losses on that side. So that hurt their bottom line today. And it did put a little bit of a question mark to the market, particularly with President Trump's wish to cap credit card interest rates and what that could do to the future of that particular market. So definitely one to keep an eye on in the coming months.
Indeed. Leanna, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Statistics Canada is cutting hundreds of jobs, with 100 layoffs happening immediately this week. The federal agency says it's entering into a workforce adjustment period, impacting about 850 positions and 12% of its executive team. In the fall, Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne said the Canadian Public Service had grown too large. The Liberals are looking to reduce the size of the service from its peak of more than 367,000 employees in March of 2024 to 330,000 by 2029. Police say a Calgary woman who killed her attacker did everything right. Here's Tara Nelson with a look ahead to CTV News at 6.
Hi, Ian. The woman was attacked by a man while showing him her family's rental property. Police say this is a clear-cut case of self-defense and there will be no charges. Coming up at 6, we'll hear from a neighbor who called 911. Plus, we'll have more reaction from the woman's family. Also ahead, it's one of the hottest shows on TV right now. Coming up, how heated rivalry is boosting some local businesses. Ian.
Thanks, Tara.
The monarch butterfly is an iconic species, and I have spent 2 decades roaming North America to document these incredible creatures.
Chasing and documenting monarch butterflies is essentially Jaime Rojo's life's work. The photographer visits Calgary February 1st and 2nd as part of the National Geographic Live series. And joining us is Jaime Rojo. Thanks for speaking with us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now, we have heard about the incredible migratory path of monarch butterflies. What's fascinating about them is that it takes several generations for them to do just one trip. And the question is, how do they know where to go?
And that question is the big mystery of the Monarchs and something that has haunted the scientific community for decades. The Monarchs are one of the most extraordinary migrations, and the fact that they are multi-generational is one of the key points. Because as you can imagine, when the butterflies return to Mexico, they have never been there. They are the great-granddaughters of the butterflies that left in the spring. So how do they find that? Believe it or not, continues to be a mystery. We have a pretty good idea of what is happening, how they navigate using a very precise solar compass, that they use cues from the landscape, and they might also be using some pheromones to pinpoint the exact location of that forest, but we don't have a clear full answer for the mystery.
It really is fascinating. Why did you become so obsessed with monarch butterflies?
It wasn't in purpose, really. It was more like I moved to Mexico in my early 20s after having grown up in Spain. And I went there to study environmental sciences. And 3 days after I arrived in my new country, some friends invited me to go visit the monarchs. Of course, I knew everything about the biodiversity of this wonderful country. And I say yes. And I became fascinated by the spectacle.
And to see my extended interview with Jaime Rojo, visit ctvnewscalgary.ca. You may already be in disbelief at the weather we're having, and it's only getting warmer tomorrow. Perhaps a record will be set then. Danielle has the details coming up. Right now in the city, it's 10 degrees. Okay, Danielle, you've been taking notes right in front of you there, and it looks like we will likely break a record tomorrow.
Yeah, we're on track to break it. Not just break it, but break it by quite a bit.
Smash it.
Smash it. Maybe not quite smash, but close enough to that. Today, it looks like we've tied a record, and again, Environment Climate Change Canada has to confirm that, but we got to 12.3. The record for this day is 12.3. Tomorrow, the record is 11.2. We're set to get to at least 15. That will come with gusts around 50 kilometers per hour. And then tamer winds and lower numbers. Thursday and Friday, daytime highs of 5.
Thanks, Danielle. The 2026 Winter Olympics don't start until next month, but a Calgarian has already made history for the Games. This is video from one of our previous stories with ice master Mark Messer. He's been working at Calgary's Olympic Oval since 1987 and has contributed to 6 previous Olympics. This time, he was taken to Italy and has created the Games' first indoor temporary speed skating rink. He's been working on the ice since October. The 2026 Olympics run February 6th to the 22nd. Something to look forward to. Thank you for joining us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.